Resistance to change happens in every organization. The reasons why people resist change is because they are worried whether the changes are going to work or not for that organization. People resist change because they're stuck in their ways and they just don't want to change. And people resist change because they do not agree with the changes that are being made within the organization. The employees may resist change because the supervisors may feel like they need to have the final say whether the employees get the full 7 weeks for their bereavement or they should just have 3 days paid. I disagree, and I believe that everybody should get their full week of bereavement pay. That's why I want the policy to be set in stone to where the supervisors can't change the policy and be like, well, it's to my discretion. So I may get some pushback from the supervisors because they may believe they should get the final say on how long they get for paid leave and who their immediate family is. But I disagree. I think it's up to the person that is grieving, and who that person is to them is their choice, whether it's immediate family or not, and how many days they want to take paid. It's up to them. But it's only up to a week. If they need any more time, then that's up to them to use other type of paid time or unpaid time. And then that can be approved or unapproved by the supervisor. The employees may feel like they deserve more of a discount than the one free meal that I discussed, whether it be for lunch or dinner, depending what shift they work. And the free coffee and fountain drink, they may feel like they need more than just that. But for now, that's what I'm suggesting. And then as the policy progresses, maybe there'll be more changes to the discounts. The employees may resist the changes because they simply don't like the change, or they don't agree with the change. They think it should be different. They should feel like it should be handled in a different way, so they just may simply not conform to the changes. The way I would communicate with my team about the changes, that I would communicate each step with my employees so they can provide feedback. That way they are less likely to resist the changes because they are involved in the change that is being put in place for the company. Obviously, there'll still be resistance because not everyone will agree with the changes. They won't agree with the compromise that we come to for the policy. Not everyone's going to agree, so they may resist there. But it'll be at a minimal. It won't be a big resistance. It'll be a small number of resistance compared to everybody resisting the policy, because most of the company will be involved each step of the way. Like, this is what's happening with the bereavement plan. We now got 3 days paid, and next we're working on 5 days paid, and so on and so forth. They'll be there for each step of the change. The relationship between resistance and communication is that people resist change when the changes are not communicated properly. So therefore, if I don't communicate each step with the employees, they're going to resist because they do not know what's going on and they're not involved. They don't get to provide feedback, or they don't get to provide their concerns on the steps that are being taken for the changes. So therefore, they're going to resist that policy because they're not involved. So the more people involved, the more likely the changes will happen. There'll be less resistance. And that's why communication is so important, because you have to communicate those steps and what's happening to your team so they know how to conform to the changes and what is needed from them when the policy is put in place, and how they can go about and using that policy when it comes to time to losing someone. They can use that bereavement pay, or they can, how does this discount policy work? Is it just 1 free meal or 2? So they know how much they're getting and what type of meal they're getting with that change, so they know what is free and what they still have to pay for. There's many different communication strategies. You can call people on the phone, text, email, face-to-face. The best communication strategy for my team would be to hold a meeting and discuss the changes. That way I can get everybody face-to-face. They can talk about it. they can discuss what they don't like, they can discuss what they do like, they can discuss new changes, whether it pertains to that policy or not. It'd just be better to be face to face. That way everybody understands what the changes are, and that way everybody's aware of the changes again, so there's least resistance.